What's up, everybody? Jaxxsin here. Today I want to talk about a free-to-play MOBA-esque style game. I'd say it's a MOBA. It's a fair case to state it's a MOBA. It's an interesting MOBA, very peculiar MOBA. It's called Gigantic. Now, I had a commenter telling me to try this on my Battleborn video, like right after my brother had told me when I woke up. He was like, "Oh, I heard about a free-to-play game, Gigantic. It's coming to Steam July 10th. Blah blah blah. You can play it through their browser though." So we got the Arc browser. I don't know if Arc Games made this or if it's, I know that the people who made Neverwinter Online and what was the other one? Star Trek Online as well. Perfect World Games, I think, but they're also involved in this game somehow. I don't know. So how is this game different? Well, for starters, instead of a lane push, your classic, minion push against towers, against, eventually a big, monster. In the case of Smite, it's the Titan, I think. For some sort of fortified structure at the heart, the base, the core. It could be anything you imagine, guys. Essentially, it's the thing you need to beat to win. Well, in this game, that you cannot deal damage to that. And it's this big titan. It's either a snake or a giant owl-like creature. And the way it works is, as you spawn into the game on the battlefield, you're going to want to go and run out and capture these 3 points on your side. And as long as there's a creature there that's not being fucked with, and this is a creature that can heal you, a creature that can identify enemies on the map in a limited range, creatures who can, what's the other one? The wall. He does a wall. And kind of walls off some of the terrain, so it forces them to come in a bottlenecked position into the base. And depending on what you need there, the best way to build them, you can purchase more of these with real life cash and with the currency that you get organically in the game, through playing the game. So you'll be able to unlock new towers, new structures. Anyway, these are meant to be left alone by the enemy team and just collect energy. And you'll notice that at the top of the screen, that bar next to your guardian, as soon as that's full, your guardian is going to go and pin down the enemy team guardian or vice versa. And at that point, you're forced to either attack as a team and deal damage to the creature, and you need to wound it, and you need to burn a life bar down. When your Titan attacks it initially, it's going to deal some burst damage to it. The kicker is if the enemy team defending, if they get enough kills, they'll actually recharge that shield and make it so you can't wound, their guy. And as soon as you've wounded the enemy team 3 times, their guy dies, you win. Bada bing, bada boom. So the point of it is you want to be grouped up as a team, either 2s and 3s or, however it works. I'm not sure that there's a meta. I couldn't quite figure it out. I played it for about 6 hours and I barely started to understand, the inner workings of the game. One of the things I really do like, I'll say about it right out of the gate, I like that how the characters, you actually level them up and evolve them on the fly. And instead of like a Paragon or a Smite where you're actually unlocking the skill as you level up, in this game you're going to start with all your skills, and then as you level up you're going to be able to curtail them and kind of make them fit your play style, kind of like Battleborn on the fly, where you're able to tweak those skills and make them do different things, which I really like. I like that take on it. So you're starting out with all skills. Your ultimate is going to charge as you deal damage to the enemy team and, get kills, things like that. And the cool thing about it is you can actually store up to 3 charges on your ultimate, meaning your ultimate at 3 charges will do more damage than it would at a 1 charge. But also you can sacrifice these in order to upgrade your towers that are collecting the energy, and you can do this, to make it harder when they're pushing on your stuff. It'll, give you that edge in battle to have, either a big healer that can also slow the enemy in the case of the tree, or, a big ogre that can, do big AoE damage and stun the enemy team and knock them up. As you've upgraded them, they get better and better, and that's cool. So I really like the way that works. I like that it's a constant. It's a very weird thing. It's it takes the kind of the good elements of a MOBA, it flips them on their head, but it also takes the good elements of like a Team Fortress 2, like a team shooter like that, like an Overwatch, you know what I mean? It takes that and it makes it a constant team fight almost. Like you're always going to be wanting to be with a team, with your team in a team fight, you know, either pushing their towers to stop them from earning as much energy, or defending yours to keep yours, you know, depending on the skill levels, because there's definitely some skill gap here. There's people that you can tell have just played this game longer than you and they absolutely wreck your face. That said, the look of this game is something that I immediately kind of turned me off of it. You know, there's a few things that turned me off this game and made it into one of those that I'd probably just play casually, but not something that I would stick with. You know, when I want a MOBA edge, I like to, you know, go towards Paragon more nowadays because it's just unique. I feel like Paragon kind of has its own unique vibe, its own feel. Even though I will say I really hate that the cards are locked behind that RNG card back system, so that, you know, it's kind of encouraging you to pay more money to get the better shop items for, you know, your specific character you're trying to play in the builds. And so that's annoying, that's frustrating, but that said, you know, like I said, casually, you know, I'm not a hardcore MOBA guy. I'm not going to get, you know, I'm not going to be trying to compete in ranked or anything like that anytime soon. I just get an itch every now and then. I don't want to get it scratched. And I would say a Paragon would be more appealing than this game for several reasons. The first being the look. Like I said, I'm kind of sick of this look. I don't know when everyone decided to, oh yeah, I do, is when Overwatch made like $1 billion in a year. But we decided, you know, I guess that we all wanted like cartoony vibe games, and you know, there's just so many of them now that they kind of blend together, and there's not really anything super unique or special with the look in this game as opposed to like a Battleborn, as opposed to like a Paladins. It kind of just feels the same Z, and it doesn't feel like an innovator in the look, you know, in the art style. Is it ugly? Is it bad? I don't think so. I really like that water level that has the river running through it. I mean, it looks really good. I enjoy the way it looks. It's just, you know what I mean? It's the same sort of fucking vibe, the same sort of dill that, you know, it's kind of that thing that I've been talking about where it's like a formula that's, you know, becoming apparent, and it's because people want to make all the money that they can, and so they kind of want to copy things that are popular. You see it in Hollywood all the time, you know, like Jurassic Park comes out and there's 30 fucking movies that, you know, have Jurassic in the name and dinosaurs in them that are all crap. But they exist because it's like clickbait in a way, you know what I mean? They know that because that's hot, because that's in people's minds, they're thinking about Jurassic Park, that if they make a movie with a fucking half-ass CGI dinosaur and some shitty fucking like subpar porn acting, even like would be subpar for porn, you know, just really awful quality movies, they're still gonna make a buck because it's the clickbait factor, you know, people just, oh look, it's fucking dinosaurs, it's Jurassic, you know what I mean? They watch the shit out of those, and that's obvious as fuck since there's more and more of them. And so that's what I think we're starting to see in video games a lot of, is people kind of chasing trends, people chasing looks, and I think that shows through here. Is that, you know, a bad thing to say about the game? In my opinion, it's something that kind of averts me away from it. Does it mean the game is ugly? Does it mean the game isn't worth playing? Does it mean the game has no merit at all and doesn't kind of like do a good job of separating itself from all the other things and making it kind of its own thing? I would say, yeah, you know, I think it does do all those things. It does a good job of, you know, there's a lot of, you know, what I really enjoy in it is the platforming, sorry, but brain fart. The platforming where you're able to jump, and there's a lot of, you know, good in, you know, places where you got to jump in order to just place yourself strategically at an entry point, you know, that is otherwise unguarded, because people don't really understand that, you know, because people do understand that it's kind of a bitch to get up there through jumping, you know what I mean? And so, you know, there's a lot of jumping to it, which I like. There's a lot more platforming. Like Smite feels kind of more like flat leveled, you know what I mean? And this feels more multi-layered, kind of like Battleborn, like the Monument map. It's got a lot of that sort of vibe to it, you know, a lot of up and down ground, and, you know, high ground, low ground, in and out. I like the places where you're defending. They feel very cool. There's, you know, like I said, you build the one that builds the wall, and you can kind of choke and bottleneck them into coming in one area, and that's a great place for your Bastion character to shoot from. As far as the character goes, I've just played the 5 free ones that they've made available. I've only played the game for 5 or 6 hours, so just long enough to kind of finally figure it out and kind of start finally winning games, because there for a while I had no idea what I was doing, and I was getting my ass beaten on like mercilessly. Which is fine, that's gonna happen, especially when you don't know, any of the characters. You don't really quite understand what they're doing, you don't understand what you're doing, and so there was definitely a learning curve there, which I enjoy. I kind of like that. I kind of like, because I am like, I'm not the best at a MOBA, but I'm pretty good at a MOBA. I understand a MOBA, I understand how it works, I get the general concept of die as little as possible, and the gank, work on, weakening them, softening them, and then going in with the burst, to get the kill. I understand the intricacies of a MOBA, so when a MOBA like this, a game like this is able to throw me, like, I would say I caught on to Battleborn, like the way you're supposed to play Battleborn and the way the layout worked there. I'd say that was more, they definitely added a twist to it in Battleborn. Battleborn definitely has its own deal, but I'd say like it was easier for me to pick up Battleborn and be good at Battleborn than it was for me to be good at this game. It took me a lot longer to be able to start getting kills and actually be of merit to my team, and not feel so shitty after every match like, damn, I'm just pretty much worthless, I may as well not even be here. But once you start to get the feel of this game, it, and the way it works and the intricacies of the battle, and you find a couple of characters you're good on and you like playing, there's a charm here. There's definitely value here for free, since it's a free to play game. It's coming to Steam. It's it's gonna be, I'm pretty sure it'll make its way to the PS4 eventually. Right now I'm pretty sure it's cross-play Xbox One and PC only, through their launcher, through the Arc launcher. But I enjoy it. It's a free to play game. It's doing it the right way. They've got a founders pack available. It's $30, pretty much standard in these free to play, team style games. $30 pretty much always gets you every character that they've released and every character that they're going to release. The roster now is about what I'd say Paladins had when I played its open beta on the weekend, or when I first got into the PS4 beta. So it's there's definitely room here for improvement. I feel like there's some balancing issues. For instance, I was playing the Bastion character, and I had his ultimate charged up 3 times, and I hit this character with a 3 prime charged ult. I chased him, he lived, and he was able to get away, and by the time I caught up with him with that greed, he was able to have enough health and his buddy there, and they killed my ass. So, I feel like there's definitely some with the damage. I feel like some characters have a lot more burst than they need to with how much health they have, and how tanky they are. I don't know if these are things that they're doing through skills, because like I said, I don't know these characters all that well. I've only played the game about 6-7 hours. So these might be, builds that people are looking up online that maximize, your hit damage, and your defensive, you know what I mean? So this could be any, this could be just a simple, I'm just kind of noob at this game. But that said, I feel like it's something that's going to turn people away when they get in here and they feel like some characters can just burst them and destroy them. And when they, like, use all of their abilities and they, clearly like come at them on a surprise, or they've got them, on the run or something, and they use all their abilities and nothing happens, and it's just kind of like, I feel like you're going to have a problem if you don't work on the balancing and kind of tweak it a little bit to make it a little more fair within the characters. And like I said, this could just be me being bad at the game and, getting my ass kicked by, but I feel like there was a lot of times where there was just characters that were tanky as fuck and hit incredibly hard. That frog character especially was just whooping on my ass the entire time. So that said, though, I'd say it's worth playing. It's free. Why not give it a try? I'd say it definitely adds something new, something unique in these Guardians that you have to, team fight with each other in order to damage the only time you can do it is to supercharge your own and get it to attack as well. That's one of the taglines in the, the advertising of this game is it's really 6v6. Which is very cool, because usually it's just like, your dude's just there until they're beating the shit out of it, and then he attacks. But let's face it, does it ever really matter? Because by the time they're in there, they're not giving a shit about your Titan or your core or whatever's, doing damage to them back there. And in this, it's, if they try to go in there without their Guardian holding, your Guardian down, they're gonna get stunned by it, and it hits really hard, so like, and they cannot deal damage to it. So it's pretty cool like that. Like, it's all about holding these points and fucking with the enemy team's points and making it so their, you know, Titan can't get the super energy, and also getting kills so to ensure that your Titan has enough armor to survive if it does get wounded, you know, or not wounded, if it does get downed, because, you know, if you've gotten enough kills as a team, your Guardian's gonna have so much health that if you're putting up even a half-ass defense, they're not going to be able to drill it and wound it, you know what I mean? They're definitely going to be able to prime it for a next time, though, so you're going to have to be careful and get just as many kills to build that armor. So it's, you know, there's a lot of intricacies to it. I like how you're building your skills on the fly. There's a lot of different options and ways to play your skills. You know, you can curtail them, and that determines the second upgrade, you know, your first upgrade will determine your second upgrade on it. There's passive skills, there's, you know, things you get at level 5. I like how the ultimate charges like Overwatch, but can be sacrificed to benefit your team's structures. I like that, you know, it's just very cool. It's cool. You know what I mean? And I feel like the ultimate charge is a little bit more akin to Paladins, I'd say, where in order to get it charged fast and efficiently, you got to be dealing damage, you got to be a nuisance, like, you got to be putting in some work in order to get the ultimate. I feel like the ultimate is never just given to me. I never feel like sometimes when I'm having a bad game and it's been for days into the match, I'll look down and I'll still only have one charge. You know what I mean? Which is, it's not bad. It could probably get you a kill, but they'd have to be pretty damn close to dead, and you'd have to definitely land it 100% on them in order to finish them off. So I feel like, you know, they're doing a good job here. I feel like it's definitely, you can tell it's earlier on. There's some balancing issues I'm sure that they're working on. As far as I know, they've continually added characters during its lifetime. I think they've added 2 or 3 at this point on top of the roster that they've had. Don't quote me on that. I could be like way off, way wrong. I just think I remember my brother saying that. Anyway, those are my thoughts on Gigantic. I enjoy 100% though that they're doing this the right way. You know what I mean? Like, this is how online multiplayer should be done. You know, for free and $30 if you want, because that ensures your servers are going to be getting paid, and the people who enjoy it enough, trust me, they're going to buy it anyway. You're going to be able to make money off these skins. It's proven. You know, it's proven. If you look at all of these games like Dota, League of Legends, Smite, Paragon, all of these games, there's so many of these games for a reason. Like, Overwatch exists for a reason. It's because of the popularity of Team Fortress and those chests that give you skins, gun skins and character skins and bullshit like that. These things are successful. These things make money. Alright? So when a game comes along that's like exactly like this, like Battleborn, and charges $60 fucking for itself, I think Battleborn got shown, but I would argue that other games do this, and they've made way more money than they deserve. You know what I mean? That's it for me, Jaxxsin. Let me know what you guys think. Have you played this? Are you gonna play it? Does it look interesting to you? Do you give a shit? I mean, obviously, if you don't care about MOBAs, I would say you're not gonna enjoy this. You are not gonna give a fuck about this game. So, but let me know below what you think from the perspective of someone who doesn't like a MOBA. Maybe you should give this a try and let me know how it, is it, I feel like it's different. It feels different to me somehow. There's definitely, but the thing is with the MOBA, the one thing that always stands out to me with a MOBA is the leveling, getting ahead of your team, or getting ahead of the enemy team, or getting behind of the enemy team, and hitting that point where you're just like, oh fuck. Or, staying neck and neck, and it's just constant, really good battle all the way through. That's here. So if that's something you hate, like, I know a lot of people, they don't like that part of the MOBA, you know what I mean? Like, that's the part they hate, is just like the either getting ahead and you're just like, it's a domination, you know what I mean? And I felt like that was not something that was happening here. I didn't feel like this was like in Battleborn when I've been playing lately, where it's, it's either you mow over the enemy team or they mow you over, you know what I mean? I felt like this had more matches where I felt like it was a good matchup, where you were kind of clashing against each other in a good way. Even the ones where I was doing poorly and I was being carried, like straight up carried, I still felt like those matches didn't feel like an absolute just mow over, like they just dominated us the way they would in, like, obviously another's. There's something here. There's something here. The more, there's something here. At first, I really didn't like it. Once I started to figure out the point and, you know, guarding your guys, fucking with their guys, making it so they didn't get the energy, and then that team fight, that rush to their monster, and like the interesting fights that happen there is very cool. It's very cool, and so definitely worth a play for free. I will finally end the video now. Love you guys. Till next time, stay awesome, stay safe, keep kicking ass, and as always, remember that it's all gonna be alright. Don't fucking worry, guys. It's all fucking alright. Talk to y'all later.